Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to have a look at some remarks made by William Ruto at a televised live interview with some media stations. Ruto started off the interview by thanking Kenyans for voting for him.
And maybe also to use this opportunity welcoming you guys here and also to thank Kenyans across the country for first and foremost for voting for me, and secondly for doing two very important things that sets a new record for us as a country. Voting on issues and driving our country away from ethnic politics. I think that was a big score for the people of Kenya. And secondly, carrying out our elections peacefully. I think that was a huge mark of maturity of our democracy. And I want to thank all the people of Kenya who voted in this election, who participated in one way or another.
Yes. That's how William Ruto started off the interview. I don't understand the wisdom behind that, or whether it was necessary at all for the president to remind Kenyans on how he won the elections, knowing fully well that that election was very divisive and it really divided Kenyans along ethnic and party lines. As a symbol of national unity, I don't think whether it's prudent enough for the president to be constantly reminding Kenyans on how he won the elections. Because this is not the first time. Recently, when he was in the United States of America, he also talked on how he won the elections. Some few days ago, when Kenyans were ushering a new year, he also talked on how he won the elections. I don't understand the wisdom behind that. Maybe it might be possible that William Ruto is trying to play some psychological games on Kenyans. He is trying to create an impression that he's still new in the office. Kenyans should give him more time. William Ruto might be trying to create that kind of an impression because it's obvious that in the 100 days he has been in power, Kenyans, a good majority, feels he has done completely nothing for them. William Ruto might be playing some psychological games here. Or it might be possible again that Ruto is just proud and chest thumping. That aside, William Ruto talked about so many things during the interview, things we cannot all dissect here. In this video, we'll just have a look at some remarks I feel are relevant for our discussion. Some will dwell on in our next videos. Tertiary education boards, including the TVET Funding Board and Higher Education Loans Board, HELB, to be consolidated into one. Parents who are able to pay fees for their children should pay. The government will only support the less fortunate. That was William Ruto. From those remarks, William Ruto is confirming that HELB loans and these loans for TVETs and colleges will not be available for all students. That's exactly what William Ruto is confirming here. All along, university loans have been available, or other university loans has been available for all students all these years. Ruto's government is doing away with that. The loans will only be available to some selected students. And it's almost certain and very clear that for any student to qualify for those loans, then you will have to go through a rigorous process. And in those processes, we cannot rule out the aspect of corruption. So Kenyans should be prepared for harder times. Ruto has just confirmed that his government is doing away with the help loans and those other loans for other learning institutions. That comes out very, very clearly. And Ruto has just proved what we were talking about 2 days ago. In this forum, I made it very clear that William Ruto's government is doing away with help loans. Ruto has just confirmed that. William Ruto also talked about Charlene Ruto, where he was confirming that Charlene Ruto has no office. Some weeks ago, Charlene Ruto introduced her staff, the one serving in her office. So it's either Charlene Ruto is lying or William Ruto himself is lying. But that we'll do in our next analysis. We'll dissect that in details. And also what caught my attention was some double speaks by William Ruto. I fired that Kinoti man, William Ruto, President Kenya, 4 January 2023. That was today. About 2 or 3 months ago, on 27th September 2022, Ruto had this to say: I have received the resignation of the Director General of CID, DCI Mr. Kinoti, and I have transmitted the same to the National Police Service to proceed with advertising that position. William Ruto, President Kenya, 27 September 2022. Resigned or fired, or President Ruto's different expressions on how the former director of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, exited office. In September, Ruto told Kenyans that Kinoti resigned. Today, he is telling Kenyans that he fired Kinoti. So maybe William Ruto has forgotten what he told Kenyans in September. That's a doublespeak. That exposes Ruto as a lying president. How now will Kenyans trust William Samoei Ruto? Because it's very clear that what he says today is far much different from what he will be saying tomorrow. And besides that, there were also some remarks William Ruto made about Turkana. Today he said this: the banditry menace is serious but hasn't reached the threshold for us to go to parliament to get KDF. That was today. About 2 months ago in September, he had this to say: we agreed that in Turkana, we will have a large military camp. Here in Samburu, in West Pokot, we shall put up a large military camp so we can embark on our journey of ensuring that no mother will cry again because her children have lost their lives. William Ruto, President Kenya, 5 November 2022. In November, William Ruto was insinuating that the military will be deployed in Turkana and in West Pokot to bring peace. That was William Ruto in November. Today is saying that the government, the banditry menace, is serious but hasn't reached the threshold for us to go to parliament to get KDF. William Ruto saying completely two different things in a span of just 2 months. That also exposes Ruto as a lying president. And Kenyans who followed William Ruto's live interview, a good majority of Kenyans were all in agreement that Ruto is a lying president. This double speaks exposes Ruto as a president who cannot be trusted. He can't be trusted. It's either he has been deliberately lying to Kenyans or he's saying things that are completely not there. And going through some online pages as the interview was going on and even after the interview, a good majority of Kenyans were sharing out this. Uongo, uongo, hiyo ni uongo. That has been trending. A confirmation that Kenyans don't have trust in William Samoei Ruto. They see Ruto as a liar. Let me conclude it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to support us here, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.